Hey guys, welcome back to Flat Creek Outdoors. I'm Phil, and today we're working on what will be our biggest food plot that we've ever done on this property. It's only about an acre, and this is an acre that I've had buckwheat in here recently. I don't think I shared that with you guys on this channel, but I did on my other channel on Woods Tree Farm, because that same patch is a patch that we're trying to improve the soil for Christmas tree growing in future years. So I'm doing like a 2-year soil improvement project, and this year's cover crop slash food plot is part of that plan. So I've got a whole pallet full of supplies here. I'm going to start with some fertilizer. I'm going to spread it, and then I'm going to till that plot, and then I'm going to do the seed. So after I do that first bit of work, I'll show you what seed I got. I got quite a collection here, so stick around. It's going to be a fun one. We're starting out here with some nitrogen. And as that dumps in, I'm mixing in. That's some super triple phosphate. I'm only doing about 30 pounds of the TSP on the whole plot. I did a whole bunch of that a few months ago, but it takes, my understanding, it takes a long time for that to break down in the soil and become available for the plant. So I'm adding a little bit every time I do something over there. So I'm going to add a couple more bags of this. We'll go spread it, and I'll show you this plot. This is the buckwheat patch. Last week I mowed it, and we use this patch as soil amendment primarily, but we let people come and take photos in this field as well, and that worked out really well. Here's a couple examples from a professional photographer, and they can just really work with the light and make it look super good. That is the county line 6-foot tiller. I bought that earlier this year. It works great. I've used it several times now. But I never trimmed, never cut down the PTO shaft length. It will only work on this tractor with the quick hitch. So I remembered that after I installed it for the first time directly to the 3-point arms. So a little extra work for me on this 95-degree day. I am dripping in sweat, and it is going to be dusty, and I'm going to be covered in dust here in a little bit. But we're going to get this job done. So let's get tilling. Well, the sun has just gone down behind the trees, which means I have about an hour of daylight, maybe a little bit less, because it's just been below the trees for a little while now. And I just checked the clock. It's a little after 7. It gets dark a little after 8 right about now. So got to get cracking. I got less than an hour's worth of work, so I'm in good shape. But I do want to get a shower before I head out of here with my nice outdoor shower. So let me show you what I got. First off is just a big bag of oats. And I just got one bag of that. That's 50 pounds. And then I've got a wildlife seed blend here. That's from Southern States. And that label says that it has rye and pea and oat and clover, red clover, crimson clover, rape, triticale, and a couple other things, other crop seed and inert matter. Anyway, it's a mix of grasses and legumes and greens, so I think it's going to be pretty good. I've got a handful of other things. I've got this red clover. This is actually from, I think, 2 seasons ago. I don't know if any of this will germinate, but I'm going to mix it in. And then I've got 2 bags of this Ladino clover. These are 3-pound bags, and that says that does up to 21,000 square feet, which is close to a half an acre. So I've got 2 bags of that, and then I've got 1 bag of rape here. That is I think a 1 pound bag. What does it say? Yeah, 1 pound bag of that. So anyway, I'm going to use all the rape. I'm going to use some of this clover, and I'm going to use all of the old clover, and I'm going to use just about all of the other 2 bags on this 1 acre plot. And I think we will be in really, really good shape. So the trick that I need to try to figure out how to do now is get all this mixed up in my hopper so that it gets spread somewhat evenly across the field. Yeah, so I think what I'll do is just take this oat seed and with some of this, the Dino clover. Okay, I'm doing over half of that bag. I'm going to do the whole bag of rape. Okay. That looks good. And then I get a little bit of this and throw it on top. Yeah. And I'm just going to mix it up. Yeah, that'll be great. Okay, so I'm gonna load up my hopper now. Oh, I've got this clover too. I'll sprinkle some in here. Okay, there we go. Take some of this. Throw some of that in there. I'll do a little bit of this. Okay. I'll do a whole bunch of this. I think it's pretty easy. And I can't do this with fertilizer because it's too heavy. But pretty easy with a seed to get it in there and all mixed up. Alright, so all the oats are in there now. I'm going to save the rest of this. Okay. Okay, so the rest of the stuff I held out, I have probably about 18 pounds of seed, which will be more than enough for me to cover what is right now my flower patch that's over there. We're going to finish getting through kind of like photography season. We already wrapped up with a pick your own flower business for this year. And I cover some more of that stuff on my other channel on Wood Street Farm. And once the photography business wraps up, which will just be another week or so, we'll mow all that, we'll plow all that, and then we'll kind of give it the same treatment we just did. We'll till it, we'll fertilize it, and we'll add our cover crop seed. So that's why I'm reserving all this extra seed over here. And I have 2 other smaller food plots for deer season. One will be off in that direction, and the other one's way off in the across the property that way. So those micro food plots are like, one of them's only 30 feet by 80 feet, and the other one is, it's kind of a triangle shape. It's slightly more square footage than the one I just described. But anyway, they're both relatively small in these small little sections where I know deer routinely walk through our property. So they're also in areas where I'm trying to build the soil. So it all kind of comes together here and comes back to our business here on the farm and us trying to improve the soil. But I'm going to quit talking because the sun's going down and I need to spread this seed. So let's get moving. I think there's plenty of seed on the ground. That all looks good. And that hopper was emptying a lot slower than I thought it was going to. So I drove over this field at least 3 times in a couple different directions. I did around the perimeter, and I did loops, and then I went diagonal, and then I went up and back. And then I did a little bit more on top of that to finally empty the hopper. And I don't know why it emptied so slow, but that gave me the opportunity to drive over this lots of times. That seed got nice and pressed into the ground over much of this plot here. I don't have any kind of roller or cultipacker or anything. So I'm just reliant on soft soil, gravity, maybe a little bit of rainfall to get this seed down in the soil, and hopefully it is able to germinate here in the next couple days. I'm going to pick this video up in about 2 weeks. We'll check in on this germination. So, let's go. This is the plot here behind my shed where I prepared this and shared this in a previous video, just maybe like a week ago, less than a week even. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This was a plot that I said I was going to share an update on how this is doing after a week, and then we've got the big plot in the back, and we'll see how it's doing after 2 weeks. And anyway, I can just see that seed here is starting to germinate, and the next several days though are supposed to be pretty dry, so I think tomorrow maybe I'm going to run irrigation up to this and we'll see how it's doing. But anyway, things are starting to come in. I can already see like some grass and weeds are coming up too, just because I didn't do anything to prevent the grass or weeds, but I also kind of don't care. As long as a lot of the seed that I put down comes up, it's fine. We're really just trying to get organic matter of any kind into the soil here, and it'll be okay. But let's jump on the four-wheeler and head across the property and take a look at the big plot and see how it's doing. I'm sure it looks way better than this. Here's that back plot, that 1 acre L-shaped patch, and you can see it is filling in nicely. This is exactly 2 weeks to the day since this was put in the ground, and it is doing great. So pretty pleased with this result. 2 weeks. We've gotten just enough rain. We had Hurricane Ida come through, gave us about 3/4 of an inch or so, and then there's been like 2 other days where we've had showers, and you know, no real torrential downpours through any of the showers and storms that we've had come through, so we haven't had any issue with soil and seed washing out or anything. But the other plot actually needs it needs a little bit more rain, and over the next 5 to 6 days I don't think there's really any in the forecast. So this upcoming weekend I might go ahead and run irrigation over there and run it on that plot for a little bit, just because I want to make sure that seed takes off here before the weather gets cool. But anyway, really pleased with this, and over the next 2, 3, 4 weeks I'll give you guys another update. You know, once it's over knee high, I think it's going to look really great in here, and we're just going to let this grow throughout the winter, and this won't get tilled in until the spring. So we're just going to let it roll, but this is going to be one of our hunting plots. We've got some good cover where we can sit right up there in some pine trees and get good eyes on this plot over here. So looking forward to how this does for us this season. And anyway, thanks for checking out the channel. Thanks for following along. Appreciate you guys. I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.